All right. I'm here with Explorer because there's a current event for it. It's kind of funny how every time I'm like, oh, let's start up the stream. There's an event I haven't touched yet, and yeah, as long as it's something that I'm willing to play, I'm gonna do it. So it's a 9 live Solemnity thing with Book of Exalted Deeds and Mutavault. I don't think this was in the game last time I played Explorer. You can't play Seek New Knowledge, no alchemy nonsense. None of the Hearthstone cards are legal in Explorer like they are in Historic. So it's certainly weaker, but it's not that much weaker. There are some discard spells, but for now I'm not going to do that. I don't really know what to expect, right? I have like two of these, two of these, two of these. I have an Edgar in here. I just like the card. We'll see. Um, the sideboard I can get at the sideboard with Mastermind's Acquisition. It's a cage, a lantern, a spyglass, an approach, two different kinds of sweepers, necromentia, and yeah, that's about it. No green. Gaia's Blessing, if there's mill all over the place, so I can shuffle my stuff back in, isn't a terrible idea. It also kind of lets me go infinite if I have two Gaia's Blessings, because the first one, or the second one can shuffle the first one back in, and you can loop it over and over. But that doesn't really do anything if I'm just dead, right? That only does something if I have to like steal my entire opponent's deck with Necromentias, and I have Mutavault in play or something like that. I don't know. It's not really gonna come up, but yeah, we'll see how we do. Oh boy, oh boy. Like, comment, subscribe. That's right. Yeah, I have to say that. I'm contractually obligated to say you must like, comment, and subscribe, and I stream 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern for like 2.5-ish hours. Not a big stream window, but maybe one day when I have thousands of people screaming my name, I'll stream for longer. All right, so probably blue red. I would assume if it's anything similar to historic. This hand is really good against blue red. Spell Pierce usually isn't in this deck. Okay, it's not. So it also can't really be um it can't really be what's it called? Hammer time. That's right. Oh, it is hammer time. I was gonna say it can't be because they don't have a way to cheat hammer equip, but I guess they can. All right. What does this do? Artifact or another creature you control. Okay. Well, if they had it there, I would have been dead. Well, yeah, no, I would have been dead. Okay, so now that they don't have it, I'm probably guaranteed to win, right? They had to basically kill me right. No, no, they can still draw it because I think you can play Thud and deal 20 that way. The new Fling that costs 1 mana instead of 2. All right, so they need land, hammer, Thud to kill me. They don't have any of those, I guess. Looks like another 1-drop. All right. Um, I don't know if you can play Mana Tithe, and I don't expect Mana Tithe. I'm just gonna play this. If I get Mana Tithe, I'm uninstalling the game. They don't have Skyclave Apparition because it's double white and you can't play Gigantha. They could technically have an O-ring effect. There's a few of those. There's no Sterling Grove, which gives your enchantment shroud. So relying on Solemnity is a bit more difficult, but not the end of the world. Decks like this most likely don't have an answer to it. Alright, so if my opponent doesn't scoop, I can assume they have an answer to it. I don't really know what to name in this format with Necromentia. There's a couple cards. Alright, my opponent figured out they can't win. Cool. Alright. One to know. Oh, I didn't re-roll my quest. You may play lands from your graveyard, unearth 2. That's kind of neat, I guess. Is it a 500? Yeah. Always roll for the 750. Oh, well, I rolled it into something that I can't even complete with this deck now. Always do it, though. Always roll for the 750 quests. Always do it. Novocaine. Okay, one land away from binding and playing Solemnity. Murderous Rider's a little bit expensive. Kind of wish there was something else. Should I mulligan this? I don't know. Probably. No. Nah. What's the worst that happens? I lose? Alright, so either it's Merfolk or it is combo. Alright, it is neither. It is some... Oh, it still could be. Usually blue-green is combo. Sultai could be Emergent Ultimatum. Okay, well they need a creature for that to do anything. Interesting. Okay, so I need a second black. Do I just... I think I just go find it. Yeah, I'm just going to go find Solemnity. It actually stops the 1/1 counters, but it doesn't stop them from finding something dummy thick regardless, right? Like they could play the... what's the dinosaur? Reggie? Rotting Regisaur. They could play Reggie. Okay, well, fortunately, I actually have removal spells, and said removal spells kill this. I'm always going to kill it, so I might as well save myself a point of life. I go down one from this, but it is what it is. Alright, so which one's more important here? Probably double black, so I don't ping myself with black mana constantly, given my hand. I only have one double white spell. Alright, that fixes all my problems. I'm going to run this out. I'm not too afraid of it getting blown up. Maybe they have counter magic? It'd be kind of surprising, though. I don't know what they've been holding up, but they've been holding it up since turn 1 and not playing it. I don't have any bindings of Ixalan or Gideon's Interventions. Something to think about, maybe. I could just go for it. I could also just not do that. I kind of want to get a land with this first one, so then I can go, like, tutor Necromentia and whatnot. Yeah, and it also gets me a Mutavault, so then I can just tutor for the other piece at some point in this game. Man, I want to play this. I'm going for it. I'm going for it. If they have Ulamogs and stuff, then so be it. If it's just Shieldrids, I can kill them all. Alright, fortunately, this is one away from doing this, and it doesn't get counters because of Solemnity, but that would have done it. Alright, I don't know what to name, so I guess I just go get Book of Exalted Deeds. Okay. Probably a super... I really wish I knew what this card was. I think maybe the Pain lands just hold priority on their own because of cards like Death Shadow. So you can ping yourself without, like, skipping it. I think that's how Pain lands work. I'll have to pay more attention. I had one myself. I don't think it held for me. But they did have something there, maybe, that was castable, and they never went for it. And it wasn't a consider or an opt or anything, because they would have played it, right? There's no reason not to. 2-0. Oh, I got gems. Hmm. I spent gems on that Asian themed swamp. I spent like 1,000 gems on them. I couldn't resist. I didn't get the plains though. Um, ooh, well, it's one land away from finding it. I don't know. I can just top deck something. There's a lot of good top decks, right? You have four solemnities. Uh, you have four 9 lives, four books of Exalted Deeds, and four Mutavaults, all to just draw. And that's a lot of your deck. And then you have all the tutors like this. Is this an enchantment? No. Alright, no reason to leave up I mean, I still could have left up Fracture, actually. Alright. Not the worst thing to see, I guess. Some 1/1 counter deck. I'm going to be upset when I play Solemnity, but I can still die. Can still die. But it's probably a good idea to play it. Enters the battlefield, permanent, counters, adaptive, counters, sure. Ooh, spicy. Alright, so just gonna blindly go for 9 lives here. Looks like it's mono green, so maybe just Beseiju is the problem, and like nothing else. Suppose I did have to go for it, I was gonna die. I'm gonna put this on black. Actually, no, I probably wanted that on white because white, and white. If I wanted to like play this and Mutavault in the same turn cycle, I'd need 7 mana, all of which would have to be white except the Mutavault. All right, 3-0. Oh yes, makes me want to play normal Explorer. See how good this is. Well, I don't know, because again, best of 3. People have sideboards, and sideboards just win the game, right? You can't scam people. You know, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me, or no, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, or whatever. So sideboarding. No. What was George Bush's fool? He said, "Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, never get fooled again." I think that's what he said. And that's probably more accurate to Magic because people, if you get like scammed by a deck, you just like start playing less optimal cards so you never get scammed by that deck again. I could run a single copy of Rest in Peace. There are certainly a bajillion ways for me to find it. Okay, they have something here. Could be just like a edict effect on or a sack card on their own thing. Solemnity? Oh, sure. Okay, I know what this deck is. Can you run Narcomoebas? Yeah, you can. Narcomoeba is from the new, or the most recent, Ravnica set. That's it. Shock themselves again. Kind of makes me a little bit nervous. I don't really care to respect anything at all, though. I don't. Yeah, okay. I was about to say, I don't think. I mean, they're not leaving up Spell Pierce. Alright, 4-0. Ooh, Levy Henry. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Sprout Swarm. You've added 1 to Convoke. You are now a sapperling. What up? Just clowning people in Explorer Best of 1. Until I bump into blue-white control, and then I'm Sag. Unless I Necromentia to Fairy, then I'm not Sag. Okay. Man, this deck is really consistent, huh? Well, that's what happens when you play 12 billion tutors, right? Remember to say hello to every other opponent. That way you feel good about yourself. Alright, it's this deck again. Well, maybe. Now I just need 1 piece. I'm doing fine. How about you? Oh, it's red green. Oh, what's this do? Whenever you cast a creature spell, put a counter. All right, just more 1/1 counter nonsense. Nothing exciting there. Just a bunch of 1/1 counters and stuff. Red makes me nervous. They could run some like Cinder Vines nonsense. Unlikely, but you never know. I should play this first, but it doesn't really matter. Maybe they out of nowhere one-shot me. Okay, that kind of makes me... Actually, that kind of makes me indifferent to what I want to play. It makes me indifferent. I suppose I'll play the one my opponent knows about, but I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't think anything matters if I have this, right? I think I'm overthinking this. If this is just sitting here, what are they going to do? Yeah, okay. I wouldn't have died, though, but it would have been kind of... Can this give it self-haste? Yeah, it could give it self-haste, actually. Oh, wow. Okay. 8 plus 4. Oh! I would have been one off from dying. I would have been one off from dying if I played Solemnity. No, I wouldn't have, because Solemnity would have stopped the 1/1 counters. So it actually wouldn't have killed me. Alright. What are we, 5-0? 5-0. No. Alright, so far I haven't bumped into anybody who like refuses to scoop either, which is funny. Or nice. Who's gonna dethrone me, I wonder? Who's gonna end the streak? Oh look, it's another really good hand. Oh! 6-0. They saw my name. Fan of the stream. Must have gave up. That's my logic. 6-0. Unstoppable. To the moon. Alright, Abby. Let's see what you've got. Okay, one land away from this. It's also nice I can play ping lands and stuff, because I'm only 2 colors. I don't have green for Gaia's Blessing, I don't have blue for blue stuff. I don't think I want to cut that down. I do want to Vanishing Verse it, but I don't know. If it's mono red, Vanishing Verse is very valuable. Okay, suppose I'll just do that then. Alright, so very unlikely I die. Going for Solemnity here. That was a good draw. Man, very painful. Very painful card to cast, but it is what it is. This deals 4 to you, right? One opponent, wait, target battle? Yeah. 3 mana deal 4. That's really cool. It's like a Char, right? I play nice? Oh, thank you. Do my best. I try, you know. I do what I can. What does this flip into? Anything problematic? No, not really. Okay, that pokes me for 1, and they have 2. That 3, 4, even if all of their cards dealt damage immediately, it's not enough to stop 9 lives, so this game is probably over. They didn't even go towards the invasion. I guess there's no reason to. So now the Saga doesn't do anything because Solemnity. Solemnity does not affect battles. They still have the invasion counters. Because it specifically says what it affects, right? It affects all permanent types except Planeswalkers. And the new permanent type, which are battles. Unless future battles are going to be a thing. Alright, what would it be? 7-0? Let me check. Yeah, 7-0. Future battles might not have counters, and it might just be the sieges that have counters. I guess we don't technically know what makes a siege, unless it's something your opponent controls, and then like a non-siege battle will be something you control, and maybe still has counters. Okay. So far, we haven't played Edgar, which is not really surprising. Fracture, I guess, hasn't really come up either at all. And it's funny how irrelevant that is. Like, this could just be a spot removal spell, make my deck better, and it just doesn't seem to be terribly relevant. I'm gonna need this here. Oh, this is an artifact, huh? I'll go. So I can fracture that. It's a treasure, right? No, all right. I'll take beats. I wish I could kill that, but I can't, so I'll blow this up. There's Ward 2. This could be a problem. But maybe not. I'm going to run this out to make it a non-issue. Right now it can't get bigger as they cast spells. Probably buys me plenty of time. But it also makes sense. I mean, I buy, like, time if I just go after 9 lives last turn. At the beginning of your end step... Okay. Thought I heard something. Alright. Yep. My opponent agrees. There's nothing they can do to stop me from going there. 8-0. Oh, man. Stop me from getting to the 9 lives is unstoppable. No mill yet. I kind of want to play against a deck that, like, you know, is a severe problem for me. It might be unlikely. People might just play cards they own. You know, there's a benefit of that, right? When you're playing historic and it's a historic event, your opponents might not have historic cards because they might only play like standard or something. Alright, this looks like a game I might go for the other combo. That'd be new. Oh no. No, don't actually be mill. I was just joking. Okay. Alright, good. Alright. Still a problem. Could be a buttload of counter magic in this matchup. And I mean like a buttload. So please don't have curiosity effects. Okay. Fracture doesn't do it here. I guess I'll just go for... I'll go for Solemnity. It looks like they do have counter magic. Don't really like countering tutors. You should counter the card I find with the tutor. I never agree with this. Right? Like, you can just mess me up for 2 turns in a row. Now I can only do it, like, for... Well, I don't know your hand, but... They're certainly going to counter anything I play, so I might as well play the legendary. They're going to snap off a counter on everything. And if they don't counter this, I have the ability to go after a Mutavault combo. But they should counter it because soft counters are going to get weaker and weaker, right? If they don't counter it now, it's going to be hard to counter my 3-drops if I find a land. They had Otawara. That's interesting. Could have actually bounced whatever. Alright, that's a decent draw. Let's leave it up. I guess I'll cast this? Again, I kind of expected to get counterspelled. And then I can go after their... I think I'll wait to go after it. Okay, that's good. Very surprised to see a thirst for discovery. That's kind of interesting. That's really weird. Yeah, I think I'm going to replace a fracture with a... They discard 2 thirsts? Okay. Probably found... Yep. Found another threat. Alright, do you have more counter magic? I don't really like playing this when it changes the clock, so maybe I should just go for this. If it is it gonna get if it go is going to get countered anyways, I might as well go for something that doesn't put me at 10 life. Sure. Alright. Well, they're down to few cards. I'd love to see them play a land here. I can't play this because I'll die, so I guess I'll play this looking for Solemnity. Okay. Well, now I need to fade counter magic. The other card in their hand I don't think is a counter spell. Okay, well. It's just annoying when you get hosed by like soft counters for a long time because you never found lands. But I guess I'm technically not out of this. Oh, thanks, land. I basically, yeah, I have to play this now or I'm dead. And it has to resolve or I'm dead. Alright, it resolved. Good sign. Doesn't matter if Delver flips or not. In fact, maybe I should. No, they should never show me. Yeah, they should never flip this when 9 lives in play, right? Just let it stay as a 1/1. That way I don't see the card you drew. It doesn't matter with 9 lives in play. So I can beat Spell Pierce and make disappear with casting this. But make disappear, if they sack a creature, it buys me a ton of time. Okay. I don't see any bounce spells. I only have 1 mana up, so I can play around Spell Pierce. I might have actually won this game. Might actually win. Unsummon. Yeah, no unsummons or anything like that. It looks like they don't have any answers to resolved threats. They just sort of stop you from playing them in the first place. Otawara cannot bounce a land. And Mutavault is a land. Oh no, it's a creature. Never mind. They actually can. Okay, let's see. I'm going to move phases. They have something in hand that's castable. Most likely a cantrip. A second Otawara would be kind of insane to me. So I'm not going to... I mean, I can't respect anything. Really? You did have an unsummon? Oh, man. That sucks. These are... Okay, well, I'm not dead because I can chump block. That's unbelievable. Wow. They actually had one. That's so ridiculous. Okay, well, I'm dead next turn unless I find something. That is not something. I'm going to name Fading Hope to see what their deck looked like. Or not. No, let's name... What is it called? Make disappear? Syncopate, sure. How many bounce spells did they have? They had 4, okay. Wow. So it was the only card in their entire deck that won the game. Yeah, the only card they could ever play there that mattered in their entire deck was Fading Hope, and they needed one right there, and they had it. So, guess I'm dead. Alright, 8-1. That sucks. I was hoping to go 10-0 at the very least. Oh, that's so close, too. They had 1 card left, too. It had to be their 1 unsummon. And like I said, I can't play around unsummon, even though it's on my radar, right? I read my opponent's deck perfectly, and I just can't respect anything. Oh, that sucks. Oh, that sucks so much. I had the reeds. I had no discard spells, unfortunately, from my end, and I didn't know what to Necromentia anyways. I would have never named Fading Hope, so that wouldn't have done anything. Oh well. You win a bunch, you lose some. That would have been a cool game to win, too. They had so many things. The game would have been wildly different, too, if I had a second land. It would have really, really changed my outcome. Because all of their counter spells were like 2 or greater. Oh, 9 and 1. Opponent doesn't want to play against black white. Don't want to play against black white something. We'll take it. Yeah, one more land would have made it so Spell Pierce and Make Disappear were effectively useless. Edgar wouldn't have been good that game. Not really. Edgar wouldn't be good in most games I've played, so I think I'm going to take him out. He was in here as like a placeholder. I'm like thinking of things to make, and I'm like, all right, I can run Edgar. Oh, then I can run 9 Life Solemnity too. That's cool. Oh, then I can run Book and Mutavault. So I guess I'll just go down to 1 Edgar instead of having 4 and just always harassing my opponent with an Edgar. Um, Maybe Fracture is just worse than Vanishing Verse. I haven't really seen that many multicolored permanents. I don't have more than 2 Vanishing Verses though, unfortunately, and I'm not willing to craft them. I could run Duress and stuff, but I don't know if I want to. Maybe another Masterminds. I don't think I need another Masterminds. How many lands do we have? 26? I don't think I need more lands. Hmm. Maybe another cheap removal spell. D-Spark wouldn't really hit anything that I'm interested in hitting. I could splash like an Esper Triome to uh, splash Supreme Verdict, but that's like too cute, isn't it? Esper Triome, like splashing all of those. Yeah, I don't think I like that, especially in a Mutavault deck. A third color is kind of tough with Mutavault, with cards that have triple mana color. So, and it would be completely out of the question if the Triomes didn't exist. Then there's just no way you could do that anyways. But they do exist, so I guess it's something to think about. I think the card should probably be a cheap removal spell. I don't think a single discard spell is that great, like a 1 of Duress, Thoughtseize, or whatever. Can you run Thoughtseize in this format? You can. Okay. Should I? Probably. Someone would see this deck and, like, lose their mind that it doesn't have Thoughtseize in it, but I don't know. So far, it hasn't been relevant, except one game to make my opponent discard counter spells. But if it's all creatures, I don't really care to discard creatures, right? That's not really an issue. Like, ever. It's like never an issue. I guess I'll just run 1 Thoughtseize, because I don't know what to... Maybe I can just remove Murderous Rider, because my 3s are so incredibly gummed up, right? Like, Murderous Rider is the last card, or probably second to last, because of Necromentia. 3-drop, I'm casting on 3, if I have choices, so that just gives more rooms for Thoughtseize. I think Inquisition is the one you can't run in this format. And I suppose Thoughtseize is probably better than Inquisition in this format, if I were to take a guess. I don't know. Most decks I've played against have a lot of cheap stuff though, right? No picture, you can hear me though? Oh, that's not good. Well, it's working on my end. Also, evening. Alright, we have a Thoughtseize. We can play it on turn 1. Requires me to lightning bolt myself though. Suppose I will. Leyline Binding is a problem. Opponent just doesn't want to play. Cool. All right. Thoughtseize is the most powerful card. Confirmed. Right? We put it in. First game. Instantly win the game. My opponent was probably going to win this game, though. They have a whole bunch of jank out here. What is this? Each player mills 10, then reanimate something. All right. They wouldn't reanimate anything of mine, but they have Beseiju and Binding, which deals with my combos. That would have been a difficult matchup, probably. So I'm glad they gave up. All right, 10-0 or 10-1, 10-1. Can't revisionist history my win rate. Let me check my own stream. Let me check it. It should be working though. Yep, I see it. Yeah, but it's probably well, it's certainly on your end. I don't know. If you're on mobile, I have no idea how that works. All right, 11-0. I mean 11-1. I keep shutting out that loss. They didn't like their hand. Maybe they accidentally queued with the wrong deck. Maybe they recognized me by my name. That's the least likely one, but that's the one I'm rooting for, right? Who doesn't want to feel unstoppable? All right. It looks like another easy game. I have to ping myself with 9 lives if I play this on black, turn 1 for Thoughtseize. Probably worth it. Probably. Well, I'm gonna draw. We'll see what happens. Alright, don't be mill. Okay, good. Am I turn 1 Thoughtseizing? I don't think so. I'm not gonna turn 1 Thoughtseize. Probably a cantrip. Unless it's a weird flash creature, but I expect a cantrip. Alright, so maybe Sultai. Dredge. Or a pseudo dredge. Oh, they're really thinking about this. Really thinking about this turn 1 Surveil 3. Oh, they kept 2. Got rid of Spell Pierce. Really? Wow, okay. Mono blue nonsense? Am I countering now? I think I can wait. If they have Spell Pierce, I can just wait a turn. And at that point, I don't even have to cast Spell Pierce at all. I mean, Thoughtseize, I can just not do anything. They didn't cast the Otherworldly Gaze because they knew the next card. It is... What? Enters the battlefield, connive. Whenever you discard a card, exile one or more, exile them, and you put those cards back into your hand. Whoa. Okay, that's different. Alright, I'll run out this. Could still be mono blue. I mean, it's definitely mono blue. What does this do? This is like the worst marsh, right? Exile. It phases stuff out. Yeah. Alright, so it looks like just mono blue tempo nonsense. And it looks like I win because they can't cast 2 spells. As long as they don't accidentally pay for Spell Pierce. Man, they don't know what to do, huh? They don't know if they want to Spell Pierce. I mean, if you don't, I take 2 damage and the spell goes to your graveyard anyways. Alright, do I win? They can March, which phases out Solemnity. Oh no, this is creatures. Never mind. So it's just Odawara? Unless they somehow can mill me. But it's probably Odawara. Yep. Alright. Easy game. Yeah, Thoughtseize definitely makes the blue matchup trivial. What are we, 12-1? I think we're 12-1, yeah. Alright. Maybe I want to go up another Thoughtseize. I don't know. Would cut down would have been abysmal that game, right? Yeah, cut down would have been totally useless. It's really annoying how many cards, like 1 and 2 mana creatures that don't die to cut down, is kind of like depressing, right? There's so many, like, it just goes to show how many cheap creatures can become massive. It still kills Delver, but it does not kill DRC if it flips or becomes a 3/3. To be fair, the spells my opponent cast were 3 drops. Those weren't really cheap creatures, right? They were both actually 3 drops. My opponent mulliganed, so I really want to Thoughtseize. People like to scoop when you Thoughtseize them on a mulligan. Um, what? Sure, I'll take that. I'm under 0 pressure, but this looks like some kind of maybe 4 or 5 color nonsense. What does this do? 3 oil, add mana. Okay, I'll just deal with it. So I have absolutely no idea what to name. So I guess I'll just not name anything currently. But there's a chance they have some answer. It could even be binding, given what I'm looking at with the mana base here. Exile non-land and it costs 2 more. Okay, I don't really care about that. I have more copies of these. I can just find them, and it doesn't matter. They actually took this, which is really interesting. So I guess I'll name Binding? Or what's it? It's called Leyline Binding, right? Leyline Binding. Oh! Yes. Perfect. What does this do? Alright, you have any other answer? They have 1 Boseiju. Man, I am so good. Look at that. Tooting my own horn. So they have 1 Boseiju, and then after that I win the game. Alright, so I will look for, I guess, a land. Yeah, I guess just get a land here, which can be Mutavault. It's so nice that every time I want to tutor for a land, I can tutor for Mutavault, which is hilarious, because that's just like piece of the combo. All right, so I play this, I play this, and now it's just Boseiju or bust. I could have gotten a second Solemnity instead, because the first Boseiju obviously deals with this. What do these flip into? Literally nothing. Okay. Yep, so play this and pass. This is another game where cut down is totally useless, but not the end of the world. Surprised they even took this. Just name cut down with it. Oh, they're flipping them. They're flipping them into weird anthems that don't really have any abilities. Yes! Haha! That's what you get for playing Triumphs. I correctly named Binding of Ixal, or not Bind. Come on. Leyline Binding. All right. Nice. Good old Necromentia. Good old Necromentia. 13-0. Fine. 13-1. Gotta have the reeds. Gotta have the reeds. Alright. It's funny how often cut down has been bad, and basically I've mulliganed down a card. Every time I draw it, it's just like a dead card. And I'm still winning. Playing Mutavault's kind of annoying because it forces you to like continuously press enter to skip priority. Whenever attacks venture into the dungeon. Okay, that's kind of. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I crashed. My game crashed. Oh no. That sucks. Maybe it'll put me back in the game if I relaunch it? Wow. I haven't had a crash in, I think, 4 or 5 months. I haven't crashed. Does it make me lose the game? Or does it set my portrait to a Johnny like it used to? Oh, it does. It set me to a Johnny. Okay, so now we're a Johnny for the remainder of this game. Wow, I've never... I've, well, it's been a while since that's happened. Wow. Thank goodness. The game continues. So, the dungeon can kill me, unfortunately. I think, yeah, life loss and whatnot. And I don't really... I mean, no, I have ways out of it. Because I can cast Approach from my sideboard. Oh, did I... No, I didn't drop internet. No. No, I didn't drop internet. I don't know what happened. I'm gonna Vanishing Verse this because the longer I can stave off the dungeon, the better, as opposed to just going for this, which doesn't do anything, right? Okay, there's another one of those. Alright, there could be discard. Maybe I should play one of these, but no, I'm gonna thin my deck of a card. Getting, I guess... I only need 9 lives in play. I expect removal spells for these. Black-White has a ton of efficient removal for this. I suppose Book of Exalted Deeds also wins the game through this as well, so I don't lose to the dungeon. Okay. Interesting. Alright, I found that. Do I play it or do I play... Yeah, alright, I'll just play it. It's fine. It forces my opponent to leave up mana. What up? So add 1 or venture. Hmm. Yep, there's Vanishing Verse, which I expected. I think I have enough black mana, right? Let's see, I play this. No, I think I'll just put this on black. Alright, so now they have to kill me with the dungeon life loss repeating. Which is not impossible. And I have to deal with like a boatload of Vanishing Verses. And maybe even Skyclave Apparitions, although that'd be kind of unlikely. What dungeon are they doing? Tomb of Annihilation? They probably shouldn't have done Tomb of Annihilation, because now that doesn't really work too well. Acererak no longer bounces. Decline? Alright, so let's do this. Get you. Alright. I have to find a book, and they have to not have a removal spell for Mutavault. Okay. I can kill one of these. Oh no! When it attacks, return a creature with mana value. Ah, well, it undoes everything. Of course it does. Alright, so they're doing the dungeon real fast now. I do have some cards, but I have to find them. I'm not going to sacrifice anything until I have to. What did they just... Oh, okay. Well, they were just going to put that back into play anyways. Alright. It's like every single card in their deck has to do with the dungeon. There's like nothing except Vanishing Verse that isn't dungeon related. That's kind of funny. Oh, and I guess the weird... This thing, I guess. Oh, no, it does venture. Never mind. Everything ventures in the dungeon. I guess they didn't really need Tomb of... Or a server rack if they could just loop Tomb really fast. Alright. Running out of time. That does not actually do anything at all. Alright, so what's the next thing? The 4/4. Then I lose a life. Then I have to discard. Okay, so I have to sack a permanent next loop. Or just stop playing lands and discard them. Or it doesn't matter. Don't think I can draw anything at this point. Nope. Alright. If I drew that earlier, I could have cast it and I could have found a book, but that would mean they don't have a removal spell. What did they Vanishing Verse? It was a book, right? Yeah. That sucks. Looks like they only had one, too. Because they only need one. Alright. Was that 13 and 2? That's a very winnable matchup, too. Very winnable. Mastermind's acquisition and whatnot. Honestly, if my cutdowns stayed permanent and they couldn't reanimate their creatures, we had even more time. Yeah, cutdown might want to just be something else. I just want some 1 mana removal that's actually good here. Let's play that. Okay, Sultai Mill again. Let's play you. At least the graveyard decks I'm not afraid of, right? I don't really care. So making, I don't feel like I have to run Rest in Peace. Nobody's doing anything out of the yard that is a serious issue. Oh, Thassa's Oracle. Okay, that's not good. Alright, looks like I actually have to go for book then, because they just mill themselves and win with Oracle. Okay. Hopefully I just win when I play this, and they don't have Besage. Yep, nice. Haha! Turn 4. That's why you want all your lands to be white. So they all work for Book of Exalted Deeds. Triple white. Ooh, excuse me. Banged on my desk. Triple white. So you can do that. In fact, I should probably take out the swamp. Alright. 14 and 2. I'm going to take out the swamp. Add, I guess it has to be a plains. It could be a snow-covered plains. Diversify. Doesn't really matter though. I guess I'm taking out cut downs, running Thoughtseize, and I don't really know what else. Maybe creature removal isn't super relevant, right? It's trying to ignore my opponent's board is the ideal thing. I guess I can craft a Vanishing Verse. I can't be convinced. I think I'd sooner run a different discard spell before I do that. Hmm. What other discarded spells? Like, I don't really like Duress. Don't really like Duress. Um... Artifact or creature? Hmm. There really isn't that many good options, which doesn't really surprise me. Oh, oh. Oh, I guess everybody crashed at the same time? Who knows? They gave me 2,000 experience, though. I'll take it. What do I not own that might be castable? Collective Brutality is neat. It lets me discard dead cards like future copies of Nine Lives and stuff. But it's only instant and sorcery. The life stealing is whatever, and the -2/-2 is probably worse than cut down ever is. So if cut down isn't good, I don't think that's very good. I don't want more things to do, grindy 3 drops. I don't think that makes any sense. Yeah, it has to be cheaper than that. I can try Duress, but I just really don't expect it to do anything at all. Black Cat is a random card? I mean, it comes in before I get to turn 3, right? It's the big thing. On 3, I have all the stuff to do, so I want my stuff on turns 1 and 2 to... It can almost just be anything. I mean, it could be Revitalize or whatever, just something like a cantrip. Kind of like Gaia's Blessing. You can at least cycle Gaia's Blessing on 2, so it doesn't get in the way of your, like, 3-minute spells. And, it cycles in your hand when it's just not doing anything. Yeah. All right. I'm not feeling that. Let's look at colorless cards. It really feels up in the air what I could run. I don't like Maze Mind's Tome because it gets shut down when I play Solemnity and I can't use it anymore. What about you? I suppose Bankbuster does work because it enters with 3. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. It'd have to be in play after, yeah, before I play Solemnity. Same with this one, right? Yeah. At least this one scries one every time. Unlicensed Hearse is weird. I don't think I'm on Stone Brain. That would be kind of weird. What about Treasure Map? I can endlessly scry, but again, Solemnity just gets in the way, and then it doesn't do anything. It's weird because I don't want removal, really. Not really. Honestly, I think Vanishing Verses, 2 more Vanishing Verses would make sense. I just don't own them, and I'm not willing to craft them. But I would certainly, like, if I upload this deck somewhere, I would probably run 4 of these. Given what I've played against so far, it's never a bad card ever. It's just, like, always good. And it's, like, perfect for what I'm trying to do. So it probably would just put 2 more of these in, and I don't know what the other card would be. Maybe another Masterminds? I don't like Portable Hole. It could be Seal Away? No. If I was gonna run Seal Away, I'd just run actual removal and just kill the creature forever without them to, without a chance for them to like get the creature back. One of the worst things ever is having your removal spell removed. That's why I don't really like O-rings. Again, I'm not really on the rest in peace thing. I've never really needed to pull anything out of my sideboard. I don't feel like I have to run sweepers. Okay, we're getting into the threes. What about for black? What do we have on black side? Cling to Dust does cycle and can potentially cycle twice. That's something. Eye Twitch does cycle as well. And it's a 1/1, but I don't know what that's doing. I can put like some lessons in my sideboard to find. Don't really like the lessons that much though. Maybe that is worth it. Maybe I can try that like this and then I add lessons. I mean, it's something. I can take out redundancy, probably the soul guide. The cage is better than the lantern. Put in oh boy, there's a lot of lessons, huh? I guess this one because it's on turn 2, like I Twitch on 1, Sciences on 2, because playing this on turn 3 is not really that great. Annihilation deals with something that I might not have an answer to. But, I mean, at that point, I'd play this, right? Yeah, I'd just play this one. The 3/2's not a big deal, right? We're trying to ignore creatures, so... I maybe could even main... If this was 2 mana, I would main deck it. It's just like, Vindicate. You can have your pesky 3/2. Do I need Cleansing Nova and Farewell? Probably not. Add another one? And what else do I not really need? I don't know. That seems fine. Eye Twitch it is. I also can just filter, like I can draw discard with Learn. I don't have to find the, oh, I tripped myself up. I don't have to find the lesson, right? I can just loot a card out of my hand. Alright, we're 14-2. And I have not bumped into the mirror. This is an actually questionable hand, for once. I would like to have at least one of the pieces to start with, and I don't. Yeah, I think I'm going to mulligan this. I'm on the draw with Thoughtseize, though. No, I should mulligan. Opponent is really debating if they want to keep their hand. They probably... maybe they're not here? I don't know. They might not be here. Oh, they're here. Alright, so mulligan. I don't want to go down to 5, but I really need a combo piece. Alright. This is bad. Let's put you... No, I need to keep these tutors and just, be confident I'll find a land. That was really unfortunate. I really wanted like a Solemnity and 9 Lives, or a book, or even a Mutavault. Well, Mutavault's like kind of the weakest piece. Oh no, and it's a black-white deck. Oh no. Oh lord. And I drew the most expensive card in my deck. It's like 2 of them. Oh dear. This is not looking good. 2 lands are on the bottom. Alright, please don't play slow this whole time. Come on. Play the game. What are we doing here? Maybe it's the mirror and I'll have infinite time. Okay, that's a card. Sure. I can't say I'm too scared of that right now. I do need double white, but I also need double black for my whole hand, so it is what it is. If I ever get book, I need triple white, but I have to get there in the first place. There's very few lands in my deck that only tap for white, right? So maybe no, but there's Mutavault too. If I draw a Mutavault, I'd want double black to cast this. So I'm gonna need a few more lands. I also need my opponent to play faster. Maybe they're just playing Pauper. Maybe they thought it was a Pauper event. Oh. Okay. Uh-huh. Suppose of all of these, that's the one I kind of want to deal with? No, I want to deal with this one so they don't draw cards, right? Yeah, I don't really care about this incubate token. It's a menacing. Oh, wow, we actually drew Mutavault. That's really funny. So, I want this to get a white source? Maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should just go for this. Yeah. And just hope. I need to trust I'll draw a white source, I think. And it makes more sense to just beeline to this. I could have idyllic tutored for it instead, but it doesn't really matter. This will just find Solemnity instead. Not a big deal. Okay. Alright. Kind of like to see that. I don't like to see that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, these are 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If I play this and they activate both of these, I am dead. So I need to top deck a white source. We mulliganed twice, and then we just never found what we needed. This is an extremely unlucky outcome. Very, very... I mean, it's going to happen, though, right? You play 20 games. This is going to happen. It's going to happen to you sometimes. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just going to happen to you. If this was a basic plains, I'd be happy. If it was any two... Yeah, I mean, this could just be any other land other than Mutavault in this spot, and I'd be happy. Alright, this is... I mean, it's a 2-turn clock no matter what they do this turn. Alright, I'm dead. Of course I have to lose to the slowest player in the queue, too, right? I have to lose to someone that takes like 20 seconds to alt-tab back into the game. Who knows what else they're doing. Alright, 14-3. That's lame. Alright, I'll play a couple more. I don't want to end on a loss there. Honestly, we sort of lost to ourselves. Opponent could have just played 1/1s every turn, and that draw would have made me lose. Double mulligan is crazy. I mean, the first hand was questionable. Yeah, there's an argument to keep it. But, again, I really want a combo piece in my hand to start, which we have gotten consistently, because this deck consistently has one every game. Every opening hand, rather. Okay. So I can find Mutavault and then do the Mutavault thing. Interesting. Alright, I'll play this. Playing Eye Twitch makes your opponent think you're on something that you are absolutely not on, right? They have no idea what's going on when you play Eye Twitch. Alright. It is not blue-white control. Think the 9 Divine. Angelic Quartermaster. Alright. So I'm going to beeline to Mutavault here. I'm so used to seek new knowledge instead. I don't even know if I want to block. I don't really have a reason to block. And I definitely don't have a reason to attack, so I'll just sit here. Doesn't matter. Alright, so do I play Book? Yeah, I play Book and I disguised a Mutavault. Even if Mutavault is your only land in hand, just don't play it. Don't play it if you don't have to. Just do this and sit. There's no reason to play this. Like, adding a land doesn't do anything for me. Like, let's say this was the only land in my hand, I just wouldn't have played it. I would have hid that knowledge. Okay, so unless they have a way to get through this, I will win. Wait, what does this do? It's just the tap thing, right? Okay. I saw a red aura and I got scared, but... Shift Enter to auto yield. Don't you do it. Don't you dare find a card that deals with this. No idea what that could be, but... Oh, certainly not those. Let's name... What deals with Mutavault here? Field of Ruin? I don't believe they're playing one, but... Do you do it? Nope. 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 The O-ring effects don't do it. Nope, 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 nope. Alright, there's no card in my opponent's entire list that gets them out of this, so it's up to them to figure that out eventually. And I guess I'll just add a Solemnity to my hand. Fortunately, I don't have 9 lives in play, so... If I put the combo in play, combat would take 20 years if my opponent decided to continuously swing. They should just O-ring my eye twitch. I guess I'll just block with it now. Right? It's not doing anything. Why not? Do I put a reduce to memory or do I loot this cave? To speed the game up, I should loot this cave. Yeah, there's no reason to do anything. Or I could have looted a Solemnity, actually. Yeah, I could have just looted Solemnity. Because I'm not going to play them. Yeah, I should have just got rid of one of these. Kept the land. My OCD hates it when there's like a land in my graveyard. I'm like, oh man, if only it was in play. Even though it's irrelevant. Alright, so we definitely won this game. It's just up to our opponent to like deck out or figure out that they can't win. They might not be aware that they can't beat this. Which is certainly a factor. Getting peppered with the beats. We like to see drawing. It just means there's less turns that this game has to go. Oh no, I can't shock myself with the Godless Shrine. I'm at negative 48. How unfortunate. I don't even think they have an instant speed answer to if I go for another Book of Exalted Deeds combo. Doesn't matter after the first one. Well, if I draw it, I guess I'll just do it. Alright, opponent, come on. You want to keep the game going, at least play the game. There you go, playing stuff. I saw their whole... Okay, so they have Valorous Stance, I see. Alright, 3 cards, love to see it. 3 less turns. Maybe my opponent's just banking on Elspeth doing something weird. I don't know. Oh, they're drawing off of this too. Okay, good. Didn't notice. Alright, 30 more cards. And if I ever find Necromentias, I can thin that even further. Oh boy, lands. Guess I'll have to edit this out, huh? Some people like to watch it. They like to sit here and experience the folly of man, I suppose. I don't know. 40 damage a turn. I'm going to thin my deck. Just get me closer to the Mastermind's acquisitions. Alright, opponent, come on. Come on. Come on. That's it. There you go. Oh, oh, there we go. It is going to be perpetually your turn as I spam through mine, so there's no reason to go AFK. Unfortunately, they don't have enough things in their deck that, like, affect, like, lagging the game out or anything like that. Because, like, when someone plays Cranko and they make 1,000 goblins, it lags the game so bad that you can't really play anymore. Surprised it took this long for someone to do this. Alright, so let's do this and name Borrowed Time. Doesn't really matter. But I guess I will name Borrowed Time. Make sure this doesn't actually do anything, right? Nope. I want it in their deck still because it draws cards. Alright, so I can play a bunch of Solemnities and they can't answer all of them. And that stops the 1/1 counters from being spread around. Completely irrelevant, but I'm willing to do it. QQ taps all your lands on your keyboard. I don't really know why that's the hotkey, but oh, never mind. They actually do have an ability to stop this. I didn't read their cards. Didn't read their cards. That's funny. Yeah, I guess that's never gonna happen then. Oh well. I could just play a 9 lives and then it just instantly gets sacrificed. But anything I do just slows the game down, and I'm not interested in doing that. Um, let's see here. I have to make this a creature first before I uh, play this, because if I don't, they can blow this up in response. Like right now, if I were to activate it, they could blow this up in response. Now they can't. Pretty sure there's nothing they have. I necromentiated them twice. Yeah, there's nothing in their deck that stops that. I didn't even know this had more abilities on it. Hopeful Initiate. Remove 2 counters from among creatures, and you get naturalizes. Or I guess technically it would be a disenchant. That's it. I think about it. You just get infinite disenchants. The bane of my existence. Alright, so we found Approach the Second Sun, but I can also just find Farewell instead. Because I mean, they don't have that many cards left anyways, and I could just Farewell their board and speed the game up. That's probably faster than getting Approach. I think this is faster than Approach the Second Sun. Because I get to exile everything, and I think 7 turns of my opponent's board swinging is slower than like 20 turns of them just drawing cards and not doing anything with those cards. Maybe not though, actually, because they deck out as long as I don't kill these angels. So I guess until the board state gets really crazy, I should let them draw, right? And I could have just played Approach anyways. I don't know. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I think my opponent will deck out before I hit Approach anyways. So it's kind of irrelevant. Oh, I got Thoughtseize. I can still... You don't have to pay 2, you just lose 2. So you can play this at negative 354. All of this is useless. Let's just take that one. Doesn't matter. Yeah, my opponent's willing to draw 3 cards a turn. I shouldn't not let them. It will certainly make the game faster than I thought it would be. Yeah, they already have 16 cards. Usually people that do this, like, draw 1 card a turn and, like, I don't know, a weird temper tantrum. And I just alt-tab and play, like, World of Warcraft on the side or something. I think I had, like, a 4-hour game the other day because my opponent had hundreds of tokens, and I just sat there and just played other games and stuff. And then they finally scooped when they had like a few cards left and realized they couldn't win. Could not have won. Oh, there's another one. There's more card draw. Love to see it. Maybe they're trying to get me to negative 1,000. I think the lowest I've been is negative like 3,000 or something. No, somebody hit me with that creature that like doubles its power every time a creature enters. And they hit me for like 400,000 or something. So I've gotten smashed by a massive creature. In fact, I think it was that game that lasted like 4 hours and my opponent just refused to scoop while I was like video editing and alt-tabbed, not even paying attention. And then when it was my turn, I just shift-enter and then go back to what I was doing. And it was like perpetually on my opponent to just keep playing the game. Which means they were like there for 4 hours actively fighting their rope because they always had priority because I just spammed shift-enter. So they couldn't like AFK. Alright, 2 more turns and they are dead. They have not, or did not find Elspeth, unfortunately. Would have maybe shortened it by like 2 turns or so. Oh, there it is. Alright, so they get to minus it and do top 7, which is their whole deck. Put a permanent from among them with a shield counter. Sure. Looks like they're plussing. What is the ultimate? You just get 5 3/3s? Okay, there's not really an ultimate that wins the game. Surprised they didn't just give, like, one of their larger creatures lifelink. Out of just habit, but I guess it doesn't really matter, right? I really want to farewell them. Oh, I want to farewell them so bad. but it makes it so much slower. But I have to. I need to. It's such a satisfying farewell. Look at all these cards that'll go bye-bye car. There's so many of them, dude. So many. Maybe it's faster. Maybe combat is slower than them drawing a bunch of cards. Yeah, I'm just gonna cast it. Screw it. I'm all in. I'm down. I've convinced myself. More? Yes, more. More. Maybe they'll spell pierce it and they'll conjure spell pierce in their hand and I won't pay for it. Nope. Alright, they got a discard. Get rid of a planes, yep. Hey, look, a book. Alright, so I do this, and doot, and win the game. Oh, I can attack Elspeth for no reason. Send a message? Send a message. Run out Solemnity. Alright, they don't have enough cards to ultimate Elspeth, and they deck out in 2 turns. They can even deck out right now by sacking these 2 lands. Oh no, they still have to find a card draw effect though. They won't lose. They won't lose on their own terms. Can you draw a card here? Can you draw a card and commit Sudoku? It looks like they cannot commit Sudoku. Alright. So they can't take themselves out in their own terms. Unfortunate for them. Alright. GG's. Alright, was that 15 and 3? Yeah, 15 and 3. Alright. I think that's a good spot to end it on. I think that's a good spot. This deck is really, really, really good in Best of 1. It's way better than it used to be because you have access to Book of Exalted Deeds in Mutavault, which I would argue is actually better than not running those. It is a weird jank combo, but as we saw, it's pretty consistent. Now, I don't know how good it is in like ladder climbing if you're trying to get to platinum or diamond or mythic or whatever you're trying to do. Best of 3, again, just like historic, the sideboard is just going to make you cry, and this you can't do that. But if you're just playing best of 1 to climb ladder, you can do this. That's what I do in historic. And the fact that it's possible in Explorer, I kind of want to explore that a little bit more. I don't think I've ever played Explorer. I think I made a video about it when it first released as like a blue-white Teferi deck or something, and it just like wasn't. It was like Urion, but yeah, I mean it's really, really, really good. If you're willing to play against some people who just don't want to scoop, you're gonna bump into that, right? Especially people who have nothing to lose. Like when they lose their rank, they don't lose any because they're at the floor of the bracket and they can't go down. Those are typically the people that don't scoop, right? Because they have nothing to lose. When they lose this game, they don't lose rank. They're at the floor of their bracket. But so when you're at that threshold, expect people to like rope you out more than average. But still, most people don't do that. That my last opponent actually played the game. You know, they didn't just sit there and rope me out. They actually like played the game. So if they're doing that, it's really not a big deal. Approach is just another weird avenue to victory. It makes the people who rope you out lose faster because you can find it. But even still, not really that big of a deal. The sideboard can certainly be messed around with, and the eye twitch is like a draw discard most of the time. Maybe it's better as just duress. You know, it can hit binding, leyline binding. It can't hit duress. Can't hit Beseiju. But it hits borrowed time. Yeah, it hits counter spells too. Maybe it should be duress. I just really struggle with being convinced to play duress specifically. But no matter how you slice it, I think 4 vanishing verses is just what you should do. So that makes that easier. Maybe just one duress. I feel better about a single duress. At that point, you could do check for traps, right? Exile hand, whatever it's called. You could do, I think it's called check for traps, right? Yeah, check for traps or agonizing remorse. Are they the same thing? Instant or sorcery, they lose a life. Yeah, they're the same thing. So I guess you do agonizing remorse. Strictly better because it can attack the graveyard. Where this, if your opponent losing a life it's just not relevant. I'm not killing my opponent. They could have 1,000 life and they'll lose, or they could win at 1 life. It doesn't. Um, Agonizing remorse. So yeah, just one of these, and 2 more vanishing verses. It's still under 3 mana. I'm not a big fan of 2 mana discard spells, but if you want to be able to hit everything, that's what you do. Duress, again, if you're not worried about creatures, which for the most part I'm trying to ignore creatures because I'm playing 9 Lives Solemnity. I'm trying to just not care what my opponent's creatures are. It feels better to play Duress instead. Like on turn 3, if your opponent has, or turn 4, your opponent has any counter magic, you can play Duress, and then one of your 3 mana combo pieces. Whereas this, you have to wait a turn because it costs more. Um, yeah, so I guess that makes sense. Honestly, iTwitch just doesn't. It feels too adorable. For now, I'll just do this because I'm not going to craft Vanishing Verses for no reason. At least not right now. But yeah, I'll stop it there. Yeah, we went, what, 15-3? One of those games because I got completely mana screwed. I mulliganed twice. I did put a land at the bottom, I did. But I got mana screwed, and then we lost to, mono blue counter magic where they needed one of their unsummons. We fought through all the counter magic, and their last card had to be one of their unsummons, and it was, so we lost. And what was the other game I lost? It was the dungeon. That was it. Venturing in the dungeon. That is a pretty good. Like when your opponents have an avenue to kill you that isn't just beating your face, it gets a lot harder to win. But I did have ways to get out of that, right? They had one Vanishing Verse. If they didn't have it, I could have used my book and won. So there was an avenue to get out of that one. The the book, Mutavault, really catapults, like it really flings you out of the way with against a lot of otherwise bad matchups for 9 Lives Solemnity, because getting your Solemnity blown up is something that can happen pretty often, or them just killing you with a different kind of avenue, like a Planeswalker Ultimate or something like that. Um, the bane of my existence is probably 5 minutes of Fairy still, unless I Necromancy it, right? Because it can ultimate and then just exile your lands, so there's nothing you can do. If they have no way to win, I guess you can just sit back, but they usually have at least a castle to make 1/1s or something, so playing like a 9 lives that they can't interact with because it's got hexproof doesn't really do anything. We can't play double Sterling Grove to give all enchantments Shroud to play around Teferi. So that is something to note. But yeah, let me know what you thought about it. 115-3, it's pretty nice. Like, comment, subscribe. Remember, I stream on Twitch anywhere from like 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern American time. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.